Thank you for joining us. I can answer any question you ask me. Ask me anything, I can answer it for you. Brother John, what are the rings out of Saturn? What are they made out of? I don't know. There, I gave you an answer. That's a good answer. And you know, sometimes people want us to complicate things, and we need to keep it simple. Give an answer and not give an answer to other things. By the way, I think the rings around Saturn might be made out of those socks that get lost. Okay, probably not. Maybe they're in New York. You know, the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, I'll stop. John chapter 9, verses 8 through 12. Remember, he's born blind, and he's in Jerusalem. The neighbors and those who previously saw him as a beggar were saying, "Is not this the one who used to sit and beg?" Others were saying, "This is he." Still others were saying, "No, but he's like him." And he kept saying, "I am the one." So they were saying to him, "How then were your eyes open?" He answered, "The man who was called Jesus made clay, anointed my eyes, and said, 'Go to Siloam and wash.' I went away and washed, and I received sight." They said to him, "Where is he?" He said, "I don't know." The simple thing that we have here is he's going, "This is what happened." Okay, well, give us some more details. Nope. I love what Peter and John said when they were told, "Shut up and don't speak about this Jesus being raised from the dead. You're putting his blood on our hands." And Peter said, "We can't help but speak the things which we've seen and heard." That's what they were called to do. It says in Mark chapter 3, they were called to be with Jesus, and then they were called to go out and proclaim. And what they proclaimed, we saw this, we heard that. In the book of Revelation, you'll find over 20 times, "I saw, I heard, I saw, I heard." Well, what do you think? I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw and what I heard. Isn't it wonderful? Here's a guy that says, "Jesus told me to go wash in the pool of Siloam, and I went and I did what he said, and now I can see." Nice and simple. Which tells me that you don't have to have an IQ of 140 to understand the gospel or to tell other people what Jesus has done for you. I remember at a camp, I was not at the camp, but I read about it. There was a guy that had a terrible speech problem. He wasn't able to talk so good, and he was kind of not really cool, not really accepted, by the other kids at the camp. They weren't mean to him or anything like that. But it was testimony time at the camp the last evening. And he stood up and he said, "I love Jesus and Jesus loves me." And he sat back down. And that touched the camp like nothing else that had happened that week. The simple testimony. The meaning of life? No. I love Jesus and Jesus loves me. Yeah. Jesus has saved me, and he saved me so that I can know him. And I do. And that's it. Nice and simple. Let's keep it simple. God bless.